If it gets a little weird here, we're absolutely going to talk about Clown Fiestas. That's what I live for. I had people sending me DMs. They're like, please mention Clown Fiesta. I was like, mate, I'll always mention Clown Fiesta. If things get
It needs to be one. It needs to qualify.
Yeah. I do also want to explain maybe something real quick to the viewers. Some people might be like, wow, you guys are going for Has stats on the mainstream at PvP. Well, we could have been watching Dark against Deer or Special against... Who's Special again? Why am I forgetting the last player in this group? It must be a Protoss. We have Deer, Stats, Special, Dark. Why am I forgetting?
Well, there's multiple streams anyway, by the way, right? Like,
of course, there's multiple streams.
everybody's supposed to have 3 monitors in total.
Yeah. But for us, it's important. I mean, Has made it through those offline qualifiers. We want to give him a game on the main stage as well. We want to give him a game on the main stream. This is important. He deserves it. We don't just want to let this guy play all the games in the dark. Special against parting, of course. I know that like a lot of people would be like, man, that is so freaking amazing. Yeah. Show Special parting. But Has deserves this, guys. He needs to be on the main stream as well. And let's just see how he does.
Special's up 1-0 apparently against Parting.
That is kind of crazy. But I don't find that the craziest thing out there.
Yeah.
Because Parting, as good and as upsetting as... Ooh, Adepts, by the way. That was really close. I don't like that. He could have gone force fielded in, but somehow Has with those slippery Adepts on the right side of the force field. That's a little moment, but that's a feel-good moment. Just like, minus 50 energy. It's going well for me.
Got him.
But yeah, what I want to say about Parting is that Parting is obviously a really good PvP player, and he's crazy in PvZ, and he can absolutely get his victories there. I must say, I don't see him really shine in PvT. Of course, he's going to beat up on bad Terran players because he's a world-class Protoss player, but that is not the matchup that Parting shines in.
Yeah, obviously, let's not count him out just yet, but yeah, with how competitive Special was against Stats in particular, it seems like he's doing pretty well against Protoss, and I mean, he's going to need that in this tournament. There's a lot of them. Nice recall there.
Yep,
should be able to save that one Adept. Very nicely done by Has.
This is actually getting a little bit wild, right? We've got a 3-gate, or is that even a 4-gate? It's just a straight up 4-gate opening, so Has is making it seem like, oh, it's just a traditional 2-gate fast expand, you know, with a robo, I'm safe, and then suddenly it's actually 4-gate robo, and now it's very important to keep a close eye on the working count of Stats. He's at 32 probes at this point, Todd. This is where I'd be like, hey, buddy, stop with the probes, get a shield battery. He's even getting the forges, our observer's showing us as well. That's not really going to help out.
It seems as if Has is building up his image the entire last year. He was playing a normal standard macro games, not doing super well with tournament results, and now he's pretending that he's playing standard, but he's actually hiding buildings out on the map. Here goes the Clown Fiesta, perhaps, that we talked about earlier.
I absolutely love everything that Has is doing up to this point. Stats is just not making the correct calls at this point. He's at 37 workers. This is one of those moments where I think it's safe to say that Has, if your build doesn't work right now, never do it again, because it's never going to work. Your opponent has built a lot of workers, and Stats is still building workers, Johan.
Yeah, he seems to have no idea what's coming. He thinks that this is a normal, just like one single War Prism with a few units. He's getting Twilight Council.
Oh,
if he knew what's coming, he would just be spamming shield batteries. He's at least going to add one more inside of his own expansion, but he's going to have so much army. I mean, look at his army supply, 36 already against 19 right now.
Yep, even hallucinated an Immortal as well. Here we go. I think the only thing that Has really needs to do is kill that Immortal of Stats as quickly as possible. And of course, don't lose your War Prism. The Adepts are getting right on top of that Immortal. A couple of the sentries are going down. Has, where's that focus fire, my friend? The Immortal needs to shoot at the other Immortal. That is what's happening. And I think that Has is done it.
Has is like, Shield of Fire, do you know who I am? He's hurt. Gets in there, breaks the entire expansion, all of the units there, and Has will open up the scoreboard here, 1-0. Going into today, you know, there was a big question mark on how well he would be able to perform. Even, I think, as far as saying how many maps would he be able to win in such a tough group, but now he's up 1-0 against Stats. I don't think too many people would have predicted that.
No. You actually do that?
Yeah.
Has did it?
Yeah, but Stats wasn't in the lobby yet, but still. It's crazy that Has, yeah.
You're kidding.
I showed you, like he was writing the pylon cannon emotes.
Well, guys, Stats has not scouted this yet. Now we have a couple of pilots going down, and whoa, that is brilliant. I think you actually have to cancel that gateway, maybe. If I'm Stats, I'm canceling that gate, okay?
Yeah, it feels like he needs to get in right now, but then I think maybe he has to make a pylon on time.
No, yeah, absolutely. He would, but I still think.
But then he would have only space for only one cannon.
Oh my goodness.
Now he's gonna have two. Oh my god, this is.
I mean, it is.
He's gonna try to empower both pylons here with all of these probes. He's trying to get maximum surface area. One of those gets cancelled here. Has might just remake a pylon. I think he realized that was gonna get empowered eventually.
Oh, and now he's gonna wait until this cannon goes down.
Oh, the Zealot was blocked a little bit at the back. Finally gets in there, starts working on that cannon.
Actually, I'm not
But
sure
two
if I
Zealots
like
are gonna
it.
come in very soon, and there's only...
Okay, that pylon is good, but the probe is gonna go down. But there's still a Zealot out there. Now 2 Stalks are on the way.
Where do you defend if your stats? Do you go defend your probes? Do you kill the cannon? It
No,
feels
I
like
think
have
you
to
kill the cannon. You always kill the cannon. But he's actually going for the pylon
Oh my God.
instead. That's a bit risky because Has could potentially build a new pylon there as well. It's obviously very important for Has to unpower the gateways before the Stalkers are out, and he does it! What? How did that Stalker not come out?
And his Zealot has still got most of its hit points. It's only lost the shields. One more Zealot will walk in
Oh
there.
my God,
Stats
you're
didn't see
kidding
this
me.
coming. He didn't really make a pylon. His gateways are going to be unpowered forever. And then the cannon is going to be up. In a second, he's going for the pylon. Cloud Fiesta.
Wait, now the top pylon is Stats, right? Is not one of those pylons from Stats? It has to be. Yeah, that one is from Stats. Okay. He's gonna get Stalkers. I think then he's totally fine, Todd.
Well, if he can save all of his probes, or most of them, he's lost already 5. Stats is really trying to repower that. I mean, Stats is all in. There is no transition. He has no gas income.
Yeah. That's a super all in. I actually think with the Stalkers out, I think you're gonna be okay, man. There's just no way for Has to kill those Stalkers, Todd.
Whew, looks like a
got
defense
really
for Stats.
close.
Yeah, that was as close as it gets. He's still gonna unpower the gateways, but there is enough. Stats gets the equalizer here after he failed cannon rush. He's like, what is going on here in this series? It's not the usual StarCraft I'm playing over in Korea.
I was a little surprised that there was no better way for Has to protect those cannons, right? I feel like everything was a little bit decent. This is as crazy as they told me it was going to be. I'm probably going to just scout and try to play this as safe as possible. And even if it seems like it's a normal game, I'm gonna keep on scouting. This seems like a 3-gate robo opening by Has, even though he's opening up with the depths. And maybe it's proxy Stargate? Is that possible, Todd?
Yeah, I mean, it has.
No, maybe.
DTs are on the map is possible with this guy.
He's actually just gonna warp in the pylon for now and not do anything else with it.
You know, we always mention about how against Has you need to play like very specific to him, scout a lot and stuff, but it's so easy to kind of go into autopilot and then just kind of like in the game #1, right? If your stats, you just keep making probes, you're like, I'm gonna be fine and stuff. You don't really see what's coming for 1 second and then you lose, so.
I just want to point out that Has opened up double or adapt, and I was like, well, it's not the most standard thing, but there's still quite a few Protoss players do it, and I obviously expect someone like Has to do it, but he cancelled both adapts, and then he's like, no, you know what I'm gonna do instead? I'm gonna go Stalker Sentry, and now warps in the Stargate at home. Alright, so maybe he has a little indecisive there as well,
Yeah.
not exactly sure how he wants to play this. There's no shield battery yet. There's a lot more micro potential in 2 Stalkers than there is in a Stalker Sentry. I do like the very early battery there by Has.
I think that's why, yeah. Because he canceled those units, getting the Stargate a little bit earlier, so he's gonna rely a lot on the Stargates doing stuff here. You mentioned it earlier, he had this one game against Tyr where he was playing also with Stargates and kind of overextended with the energy, like using everything across the map, then died to the counterattack. To be fair, especially if you have a high Phoenix count, that's not super likely to happen very often, but...
I wonder if it's Phoenix or Oracle. Okay, he's gonna go Phoenix instead. Whenever Has goes Phoenixes, and I'm always like, is this just to harass, or is this also gonna set up some sort of a timing attack, right? Because Phoenixes can be very useful in picking off sentries. Phoenix deal double damage against a sentry, so even if a sentry is near a shield battery, if you have 4 Phoenixes, which I know is quite a bit, you can still lift and kill it very quickly with 3 other Phoenix, and if they are not near a shield battery, well, then I say you can even dive in with just 3 Phoenixes, because just 2 Phoenix shooting at a sentry picks it off very, very quickly.
So Stats, upon realizing it's Phoenix, goes for a Forge here. He's gonna wanna start upgrading his units pretty fast.
The scary thing here, though, is that in general, whenever you see your opponent's gonna go Phoenix, you're like, well, I'll just build a lot of probes, right? Because it's inevitable that I'm gonna lose a couple probes here and there, and that sucks, but the right way to deal with this is just to build a lot of probes and make sure that you don't get all in. But obviously, building a lot of probes after what happened in Game 1, where Stats was already caught off guard, that is scary. That's a quick Twilight as well. What is this, Has? He has a robo too, right, Has? I'm not crazy. So he's getting all the tech. What do you think it's going to be? Like Zealot Charge or something? Or
He's keeping his options open. Maybe he's waiting to scout first before he properly decides what he goes into.
As busy as we are, like theory crafting over here, Has is down 8 workers. That's a few too many workers to normally be down. He's going to shade in with 2 adapts. He's going to pick up a couple of probes here. The Phoenix is going to pick up a couple of probes as well. And well, Todd, he was down 8 workers. Now he's down 2 workers.
Yeah, nicely done.
Slaves.
That was very important for him to do that, because if you let stats get ahead by this many walkers at this stage in the game, it's going to be pretty tough for you to keep up, or even just to catch up even.
So it's not going to be charge, it's going to be glaives, and this is obviously setting up for an all-in to some degree. There are some moments where you can transition after it, but most of the time when you see resonating glaives in this matchup, it's for an all-in. The ideal unit you want to have as stats is an Archon. Like one Archon and a Warp Prism near shield batteries, that is the absolute sweet baby dream for a pros player against glaives all-in. But as we all know, it's kind of hard to get an Archon out early on.
And I think stats is yet again counting on the stats to overmake probes and maybe not have enough units whenever he's going to go for the attack. Like we see he's getting a ton of units. He's cutting probes on 34 against the 41 of stats, and stats is still making probes 2 by 2. Those Phoenixes have shut down the scouting a lot, so...
Stats needs batteries, and I think maybe ideally one cannon, because he has a forge, he's getting +1, he will have his own resonating glaives eventually as well. I think if Stats gets like one cannon and 2 extra batteries in his natural, he's always going to be okay. But I'm not sure if he's going to do that, then it might become a little bit risky. But army supply though, things look quite good for Stats.
Here comes the scout. Sees the saturation in Maybe, sees the gateways.
Sees there are no units.
Yeah, he's gonna see in the expo that there is none of the gases taken right now.
I love it. You see, there's not 2 batteries in the cannon. I love it.
He needs more units though. It's
2 cannons even.
It's not too bad to be honest right now. 39 supply in army for Stats, 44 for Has, but those glaives, they're very scary at this stage of the game. +1 finish for Stats, that's pretty good for him.
Here we go, lift the Immortal. You gotta lift the Immortal with the Phoenixes, I think. He's gonna go for sentries instead.
Oh, the Immortal? Oh, he loses that without picking it up. The Phoenixes took a very long time here before they started to do stuff.
Wow, has already lost both Immortals. He did not try to save them at all with the Warp Prism. Even the Warp Prism goes down, the cannons have finished up top. It's a disaster. It's just not going well at all. Pretty much everything that could have gone wrong there for Has went wrong.
Oh, and he actually made a building up there to block off these adepts from going inside of the main base. Has already lost so much stats with a fantastic defense. This is what we expect from him. There was a misstep in game number 1, but after that,